Good morning, everybody. This is Karen O'Neill. I'm your hostess today, and we are here gathered together in our little circle of friends, family, wonderful other coworkers, sort of. I guess that's what you'd call us. We're a team, and this is a great team. We're so lucky. So we're here to share. This is our Monday morning chat. And so I hope you came ready to share your stories, because that's what keeps us going all week long. It's wonderful. And it's how we learn and grow and get more good out of our patches. So this is where we make sure that when we're talking, we don't name any diseases, because LifeWave does not make any claims to treat, diagnose, cure any named diseases. What we do is we use those patches, and our body is made to heal. You were born to heal, and this really puts you in a wonderful state so your body can do the work it was born to do. So let's go on with me prattling on. Let's get somebody up here and start sharing. So raise your hand if you want to share, and I will figure that out every once in a while, I figure it out really well. And it looks like, I don't know if I need glasses or not. Oh, I see Victoria. You are first. Come on and share.
Also known as Trouble. That's my middle name. Anyway, I just wanted to say good morning, and I know we're going to hear some absolutely positively fabulous stories today. And I would like to encourage you to take those stories and put them in our Facebook groups, particularly Vibrant Living, because your story is unique to you, and it may not be unique to me, but I might have preferred customers that would really relate to your success story. So I'm just putting in that plug for that. And I had a preferred customer contact me about her husband having tingling and numbness in his feet, and I think hands too. And we know that that most likely relates to a sugar issue, but we're looking to see, does X39 help with that? And as a side note, I did recommend that she join the doctor call to find out. So there's my input.
Wonderful. Thank you, Victoria. And that is great. And I really do think that the X39 can help with that. And I think lifestyle, though, is huge. I love when we get David on here and he talks about how great the patches are, but he also talks about lifestyle. And so, just know that lifestyle along with the patches and a healthy lifestyle are amazing. You get way even better results when you get your lifestyle. So get that insulin down, make sure you're eating in a really good, healthy way, and then put those patches on. They do help. So awesome. Thank you, Victoria. And yes, Vibrant Living. And it's great to put it on both sites. Live Younger too. So great. Who else would like to share? I don't see any hands up yet. If you can't figure out how to put your hand up, just jump in.
All right, I'll jump in. This is Tammy. I'm wondering.
Hi, Tammy.
Good morning. I have an elite athlete that I'm sort of sponsoring. I'm going to basically patch her up for the next 6 weeks before her next big race. And I'm wondering if anybody out there has worked with any other athletes and has any recommendations as far as, just between the use of the patches or how we can best promote LifeWave while she is using the patches.
Hey, Tammy, I'll pipe in here. My grandson, I don't know if you'd call him an elite athlete, but I think you would. He's a personal trainer. He passed everything. What takes most people 2 months, he got through in less than a week to be able to join the Navy SEALs, which he did actually end up going in a different program. But I want to tell you, because he is very, very fit, very athletic. It takes a lot to be able to pass that and in an astounding amount of time. And he found by using the X39, when he had golfed since he was a little kid, he said he had the best focus and the best golfing game of his life when he used the X39. He also uses the energy patches. Now, when he was at the boot camp and stuff like that, they're not allowed to use them. And so, but he loved it. He had great results. And I think the 2 top patches for that, well, I would have to add carnosine in there for that muscle building, but carnosine, X39, energy. So now I'll be quiet. Who else has some input on that?
This is Kay, and I do.
Yay.
Morning, Tammy, again. and everyone else. My son is not a professional bowler, but certainly an elite bowler. He bowls a perfect game 3 or 4 times every year. And he gets in a lot of bowling tournaments. And he went to one in Las Vegas, which was really the premiere of the year. He used X39 and carnosine, just like you mentioned. And he said that what he found was by the 3rd day of bowling, when he was usually so exhausted because it's such high tension and so they bowl 2 or 3 times a day, that he wasn't fatigued at all. And he really had a great score and did really, really well in the tournament, and did feel X39 had a lot to do with it.
That is awesome. Thank you, Kay. Yeah, it's amazing. Sometimes we forget all of these younger people can really benefit because it does so much for the, those of us who are baby boomers.
My elite athlete is 73 years old, so we're also going to be using Eon, and I think I ordered maybe glutathione for her as well.
Woohoo! I think that's wonderful. Hey, let us know how everything goes. We're going to be excited to hear about it.
You bet.
Thank you, Tammy.
Thank
And it
you.
looks like Stacey also had her hand up, and then Shannon. Thank
Good
you, guys.
morning. How are
Hi,
you all
Stacey.
doing? Good. I don't have a testimonial right now, but one of my new distributors, she did ask, I hope it's okay for me to say this. She's asking if anyone knows.
Make
if
sure,
there's a
just
good
don't name
way-
a disease. Just don't name a
Right,
disease. Okay.
right. If there's a good way to help someone that has had a traumatic brain injury.
Oh,
Is that okay?
amen.
Is that okay to say?
I don't know, but I know if you have that brain stuff going on, you want to use that head protocol. And if
Okay.
you're not bald, it's best to put it on a hat, I think. And I also devised, I haven't made one since, but I devised a little thing where I just did a belt around here and here, just strips, and they stretch and go on, and you can put the patches right on that. So it's really easy to do. You just sew some strips together. So I'll have to make one and show it to you guys. But head protocol is huge for brain balancing. And they use, I believe it's Eon, glutathione, energy, 2 sets of energy, and Eon and glutathione on the top. And then of course add X39 wherever you want, can be on the head or somewhere else. So yes, definitely anybody that's had anything going on with the brain, I would highly recommend the head protocol. Gregory, do you have anything to add to that?
No.
Okay, sorry.
I do have, and she said that she wants to bring it up to her friend, but she doesn't want to come across as she's trying to sell something. So does anybody have any suggestions?
Darlene?
I have put together the patches in a cap, and I have just told people I would like to loan this cap out to you and see how it works for you. And once see how the patches really help, they've ordered. So it's like, just try this and see if it works. And I think they would not feel like they're trying to sell something before they know it's working.
That would be good. Thank you.
Another thing, Stacey, I always mention that there's a full money back guarantee, so they have nothing to lose. And then that way it doesn't feel like you're selling them something that might not be useful to them.
Thank you, Kay.
Yeah, and some people, no matter what you say, it's not going to matter. They're going to think what they want to think. But just do your best, have her do her best. And I love that. I do that too, Darlene, where I lend it first, and we need to make some of those little strap things, because I think that would be a great loaner instead of a hat. And then they can just keep that and add more patches when they get them. So I'll put it on my little list to make that and show you what I do. I think Robin had asked me to do it and I'd forgotten until today. So Robin, if you're out there somewhere, I'll get on it. So Shannon.
Yes, thank you so much. And back to what Tammy was suggesting, as far as how do you work with someone that you're sponsoring, it's really important that these people know that we're actually doing something really wonderful for them, and that's sponsoring them. And if you're going to be helping giving stickers to them, or what am I trying to say, patches, that you want it to be a win-win situation. That means get them to do a testimony, even if it's just a short little blurb about, hey, this was my expectations going into this. I haven't tried the patches yet. I'm looking forward to it. And these are kind of some of the things I'd like to happen. And you could do that in a 20-second, 30-second video. And then as they are using the patches, you come back and say, hey, what was your experience? Like, oh my gosh, this was far exceeded my expectations, or these are some of the things I'm working on. Like, okay, great, awesome. That's a real valid testimony. And it's not that you're taking that away from them. You're adding that to their experience as they're moving forward with LifeWave, if they choose to, and say, hey, look at this. I actually captured my before experience with LifeWave and the patches. And now I have this after testimony, and we captured it in real time. So can you see the value of having something like that for this individual athlete, not only for them, but for you?
Absolutely. It's a great idea. Thank you.
That's
You're
a
welcome.
wonderful idea. Thank you, Shannon. Fabulous. Gregory, you have your hand up.
I do. And this goes back to, I forgot who was asking about advice for, someone who's going into, athletic performance. And without leaking too much, those of you that are involved in the beta test for the new products going to be released at the conference, anyone that's at the conference may go home with a product that will impact that. Let me just say that, there is some information indicating that the new product coming out may have an impact on athletic performance. And I want to encourage everyone, and only the people in physical attendance are going to get a free sleeve. They're going to go home with that product. And Robin and I are two of them. And I'm just, we're going to start talking more and more about, building for events. And if you only go to one event this year, if you can find the ways and means to be with us in Orlando, you won't be sorry. So
It's going to be fun. I agree, Gregory. It's going to be great.
there you go.
Wonderful. Thank you. I don't see any more hands up right now. So,
Keith has a hand up. I see Keith.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
hi, Keith. Yeah, Keith, I'm sorry. I missed you. Thanks, Gregory.
All right. Anyway, I'm a recent sign up, and I have a question. I have the personal injury. It's going on roughly about 18 months, but I had a self-imposed, I was ill and had put had swelling in my feet. And so I went and bought a unit that sort of would massage your calves, ankles, feet. It was just like periodically. Like to move the lymphatic system, but my feet were not positioned properly in the machine, and just kept squeezing. It didn't have a fail-safe, so it ended up damaging, the calf muscles, and I got a tear in my right ankle, and so it's just been a healing ordeal in terms of age and circumstances. So I'm going to start using the X39, is it?
Yes.
I'm not expecting the oceans to move, but I was looking at something like a PRP treatment, stem cells, and then this was obviously something that was pretty good. And then I was also seeing the glutathione. I was reading something about NAC, NAC, to take as far as in with, just being a good place in terms of dealing with the circumstances that we have right now. So can you just give me a little insight? I was going to use the put the stem, was it the patch underneath the abdomen? Is it right underneath the navel?
Right,
know that-
underneath the navel
Yeah.
or behind your neck, or you can put it right near the location that's hurt the most. I would say in your case, Keith, I would put it down there by where your muscles are hurt and torn. That's what I
Really?
would do.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can even, what I would, if I were in your place, I would use a new X39 either under the belly button or on the back of the neck, and then I would take the one you used yesterday and stick it on the hurt part. And it's just because I've had experience when I used a used one, which maybe only have a little bit of time left on it. and put it right on the spot. I've even had throbbing things stop immediately. So that's what I would suggest when you have your first used one. Save it in a baggie so it doesn't get a bunch of bacteria on it, you know, or even put it over your sock or something, you know, or your pants. You don't have to put it right on your skin if you don't want to. So that's what I would recommend, but also add, if you can, carnosine and of course glutathione, because that detoxes and it's a master antioxidant. That's always wonderful. But carnosine, because it's also helps rebuild muscle tissue.
Really? So let me ask you this here, because I was bedridden, so I lost muscle mass also, and I'm not going out here yet in the gyms with how things are still. So I just want to be clear on this protocol. So I'm taking the patch, putting it on the ankle area where I have the tear, and that's why I still get the little swelling, and then still use that's the one prior to. So and take a new one, put that underneath the belly, and then the other one on the ankle area, and then
That's what I would do. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And the carnosine, where would I put that?
I would just look and see where it tells you to put it. I don't have any other, there might be somebody on here who has a better idea, but I would just put it in regular, and don't do it every day. You don't need to use it every day, maybe 3 times a week, especially until you're working out. Maybe you'll start doing some chair exercises or just lift some weights maybe or something, but so that does the most good for you. But I wouldn't use it every day. I would use it maybe 3 times a week. Glutathione too, you don't need to use every day.
You're speaking of.
Yeah, the carnosine and glutathione, you do not need to use them every single day. You can, but I don't know that you really need to. But I would definitely put those in if you can. And neon, if you have a neon, it's good for inflammation. So put it where the swelling is, or just wherever the directions say. It'll work great in both places.
Are you familiar with this product? Are you familiar with this product called NAC?
I'm not. I mean, I've heard of it, but I don't have that much. And I'll be quiet. Maybe somebody else has a good.
Because it deals with glutathione. That's what I was asking.
Hello.
Okay.
Okay.
This is
Gregory
I can
has
share. This is
Oh, who? Where?
Go
This
ahead.
is
We'll have one
Michelle.
more share and then we'll move on. But Keith, you may want to reach up to some of your upline leadership too and have a more extended. And we have several doctors that are available for consultation. There's a nominal fee, but with very detailed, specific circumstance like you have, may need more coaching and consultation that we can slide in this group community call here. So who had one
Perfect.
more comment maybe for Keith?
Michelle had one.
Yeah, it's Michelle. Hi. Yes, NAC, what you're referring to, I'm going to turn my video on here. What you're referring to, Keith, as NAC is N-acetylcysteine, and it's a precursor to glutathione. And we have a glutathione patch. And so you can do the N-acetylcysteine, you definitely can, but I'm hearing it's not necessary because our glutathione patch increases your glutathione levels by 300% in 24 hours. Yeah.
That's what I wanted to know. Okay.
Great. Thank you, Michelle. That's awesome. And that was a great question, Keith.
Thank you.
I'm going to throw another one out, but I'm probably going to do what Gregory said too. I have a friend who has extreme legs, and they're just like, they can't stay still at night, and it disturbs her sleep no matter what she takes. And it's brutal, and she's been on tons of medications. Does anybody out there know anything for that?
I have a testimonial for that.
Okay. Thank you. I need to write it down.
I have a gal named Bonnie who lives in Payson, Arizona, and she's come on our calls and has shared with me, you're not going to believe it. She uses energy enhancer at night, and her restless leg problem, it totally clears up. If she wakes up with it in the middle of the night, she puts the 2 patches on. I think she's wearing them over kidney 1, tan on the left and white on the right. And she just insists it's fabulous and it doesn't keep her awake. It actually balances her energy rather than giving her energy.
Is kidney 1 the one that's on the bottom of your foot, or is that somewhere else?
Yes, that's kidney 1 on the ball of the foot.
The ball. Okay, thanks.
And one more thing for Keith. I noticed, Keith, that Dr. Barbara has some ideas for you, and she's posted her phone number in the chat section. So you might jot that down and you may be able to get a private consultation with Dr. Barbara.
Dr. Barbara, all right, this is all new to me, the technology. So where would I put? All right, let me see.
You click on the chat down the bottom and the chat function should pop open for you.
Chat, share participants more.
And Karen, I have a testimonial.
Okay, yay.
I have a gal who's been struggling with a decrease in bone density. that happens as women age, well, men too, but women more because their bones are smaller and thinner. And since she's been on the products now for about 4 months, she's seen a total reversal of that. Her last test showed that her bone density is increasing. So I wanted to share that. And then I have a
Woohoo.
question for someone who's on the call for the first time and maybe wouldn't ask it. Does anybody have any results with frozen shoulders, and what products did they use?
I have a suggestion for shoulders. This is
Okay,
this is
Barbara,
Dr.
thank
Barbara.
you.
So first of all, since I'm a chiropractor, I suggest seeing a chiropractor because that can really help. But what I would do is what I did for my husband when he had a horrible shoulder injury, and he couldn't move his shoulder. It wasn't frozen shoulder, but something else. But I would use the Eon and glutathione on the front and back of the shoulder, and the X39 on the center or corner of the shoulder, and do that consistently. That combination is amazing. It is really, really good.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, it looks like we have some hands up. Barbara Faunce, is that how you say that? Oh, you're muted, Barbara. Oh, I see you fixed it.
I am not, yes. To go back to the initial question about the tingling in the legs, I remember one of the doctor calls, I think it was Dr. Walt, talked about using carnosine in the webbing of the foot between the big toe and the first and the second toe. And I know just for myself, I had some burning in my shin, and just one night with that, and it was fabulous.
Wonderful.
But I also wanted to comment in Vibrant Living and in Live Younger. I wrote a couple of different pieces about my workout instructor and I, who experienced a release from from dancing legs, I call them, with just X39, nothing else other than X39. That was my first experience. I was using X39 for about 2 or 3 months, and all of a sudden recognized that after 20 some years of using all different kinds of things, I was able to sleep through the night. And I shared that with my workout instructor, and her situation was much more painful, much more extreme than mine. And she was on a couple of different kinds of medicine. And she had been keeping a chart. If you look in those posts, you can see the charts that she used since January of that year, with low, medium, high, what her pain level was each night. And it was just spiking up and up and up and up. And probably the first week after she started using the X39, low, low, low. And it just the X39. It's really wonderful.
Wow. Barbara, what's her first name? Because I was looking in there, but there were so many stories, I didn't find it.
I wrote it.
Oh, you wrote it, so it's yours. Okay.
Yes, I wrote it for her. Yes, she does it.
Thank you. I'm going to go find that then, because I want to help this friend. She's just
yes, I put it both in Vibrant Living and in Live Younger.
Thank you. Fabulous. We have such good people here. This is awesome. So Mike, you're next.
Okay, this is in regards to shoulders. During the lockdowns and everything in the spring of last year, they weren't going to let anybody have shoulder surgery or anything else. But come last fall, there was a good chance that I was going to be able to get my shoulders replaced. And Darlene told me about X39. And the entire time during this shoulder fix, all I ever used was X39 because that's the only one I knew about. And I put the X39 on the shoulder area that was going to be worked on. On the 5th of October, I had my left shoulder totally replaced. And I told the doctor, I said, because we have a very short time frame, with who's going to get elective surgeries and who isn't, that type of a thing. I said, if it's at all possible, let's see how quickly we can get this done. Well, after about the 10 days when he went to take the staples out, he said, there's something going wrong here. You are healing so much faster than anybody else I've ever seen. Well, with my physical therapy and everything, because of I put it on X39, I was able to get both shoulders replaced in less than 2 months.
Wow.
And normally it's 6 months between shoulders.
Wow.
And that's
Yeah,
my
I
story,
remember
and I'm
that.
sticking to it.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome. And healing faster than what they're used to is amazing. And of course, Mike, I liked your story so much. Soon after, I broke my shoulder and my arm right off of that ball thing. And I healed really, really fast too, but the doctor took all the credit for it. You just never know what they're going to say.
oh yeah.
It was so funny. I thought, yeah, you didn't do that great a job.
Well, because my primary physician, I was in his office right after that, and he changed the dressing for me, and he got all excited. And so I said, I can't just be a customer. I got to become a distributor, because if he gets interested, I want him in my group. I don't want to be in his.
Amen to that. Plus, you can help so many people. It's awesome. And
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Mike, but I never did get the horrible, horrible scar. Doctor took credit for that too. Anyway, it's awesome though. That's fabulous. Thank you. Next, we have Zoom user. Mystery. Zoom user, have your hand up. Don't forget to take off your mute.
Hello?
Hello? Who's
Hello?
that? Yes, who's that? Who's
Yes,
there?
Pat Morelli. And I
Okay,
have a
Pat, go
question.
for
I
it.
was wondering if anybody had any other suggestions for patches for neuropathy on my feet. I've used the ice,
Yeah.
brown
Well,
on the
Pat, we
left,
can't really address
white
any
on the right.
disease states. Pat, we
and
can't
today
discuss.
I tried X39 and I'm at the airport, so it might be a little noisy.
Yeah.
Anyway, does anyone have any other suggestions for patches for neuropathy?
Well, we cannot we cannot address a disease name, Pat. I'm so sorry. But just know X39 helps your body in general really well.
This is Tammy. I'm going to jump in until Zoom user comes in. But the shoulder thing is how I got involved in X39 and the company was because Kay Lubecki had called me on a day when I was getting ready to have my shoulder injected because I've had chronic shoulder issues. So I didn't have frozen shoulder, but I had both of my shoulders were hardly usable. I was in chronic discomfort all the time. And I will tell you, I am more flexible. I have more strength. I feel like my shoulders are becoming new shoulders. So I'm pretty excited. I've only been using them 6 months. I can hardly wait to see what my shoulders are like after a year or 2 years.
It's 1 minute. Why don't you just take
That's awesome. And Tammy, there's a really good point because what I've noticed on things that are really kind of big, it seems like 3 months is sort of a magic time to get a huge amount of benefit. Then over time, you just keep getting more and more, which is wonderful. So cool. I love that. Thank you.
I'd like to add something. I'm trying to wave my hand, but I don't know how to do it.
Oh, that's okay. Good water boy. Go for it.
Well, yesterday I was in the water swimming again. 10 months ago, Dr. Tom Acklin introduced me to the X39. And, the VA had just told me I needed steroid shots in my shoulder and then shoulder replacement surgery. Well, I didn't get any shots and I'm not getting my shoulder replaced. And I joined the Y this week. I've been swimming twice, but yesterday I went in without the X39 and swam about 2 laps and it hurt. So I got out, dried off my shoulder, dried off my knee, put an X39 on both and jumped in the water and swam for 40 minutes. So,
wow,
that just kind of a situation of what the things can do. And then the other thing is for Gregory and Robin, I need to know the details of the LifeWave meeting in Guadalajara today, because I've got people 40 miles away that may be able to attend.
Awesome. Maybe you guys can connect off of the chat.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Okay, well, that's wonderful. And Zoom user, did you figure out how to unmute? Looks like you might have. Why don't you come on in and talk?
Good morning. I'm Valencia Mitchell, and I'm calling
Hi.
to see which patches would you recommend for a knee that hurts. My left knee, there's pain in my left knee, and it's like on the inside of my knee. And just wondering, what would you recommend?
Well, I personally,
I-
if I had anything going on with my knees, I would be putting Eon and glutathione on them. And I would be
Okay.
also wearing an X39. But I think if you put an Eon on the inside of your knee and a glutathione on the outside, or you can piggyback them on top of each other right on the kneecap if you want, just see what happens, because we don't know what's going on in your knee, but
Right.
that's what I would do.
And I use an ice wave, and I haven't been able to, feel a difference. So I just wonder if there was something else I should be using.
I would try those two. Anybody else have anything for that?
Hi, this is Sybil. I used the ice wave after I injured my back earlier this year when I first started using X39s, and I got some relief, but when I ran out, I used an Eon directly on the spot of pain, and the day it left altogether.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, Eon is a great one to add because it helps so many things, and it's really, really good for inflammation. I got a big test when I had had broken this shoulder and had to have surgery, and I used that and ice waves and X39. I used everything. I was just like a mountain of patches all over here, and didn't have to use a lot of pills, which was great. I'm going to tell you real quick. I think we're done though, but I just want to tell you my sister, who's 10 years older than I am, and in just less than 3 weeks, or around 3 weeks, I'm going to be 72. She's 10 years older than me. I tried that. She wasn't able to bend her knee or move. She'd had the bones rubbing on each other on her knees for at least 10 years. And they wanted her to get surgery and she didn't want to have it. So we did the Eon glutathione and she wore X39. And in about 3 months, 3.5 months, she could bend her knees. She could put her pants on without great strain. And she used to get up like a crab walk where she could hardly get up. And we live far apart, so I don't see her much. So I asked her how she was getting up. And she said, I don't even think about it anymore. So always remember that as a really good thing too. So anyway, there we go.
This is Mike. I'm going to add in on my shoulders. I was 72 at the time when I had those shoulders replaced.
Awesome. Awesome. You old thing. You're almost a year older than me.
I'm going to be 73 at the end of this month. So
you guys, we all can get a lot of years, but we're not going to get real old. I love it. So our time, we went, look, give us an inch and we take a mile. It's 10:32. I better turn it over to Robin or Gregory. I didn't see Robin. So Gregory, do you want to talk about tonight? There's Robin. Hi, Robin. You want to talk about tonight?
Yes. Fabulous call, Karen. And thank you, everyone. And welcome to you new people. So wonderful to have you. The sharing is just inspiring. And these calls are available on liveyoungeryoutube.com. Last Friday, we had a 30 minutes of wisdom with Ellen Fine on coaching and the grow model. And it was not recorded for legal reasons. But if you missed it, you can find it on our Facebook Live, and we'll be mentioning that in the newsletter today. So I want to make sure everyone sees that. And that leads me into our call for tonight, because what we've done a really good job at is getting people off to a great start with our getting started checklist. Hold on one. And our daily method of operation, and people are into action right away. But we've kind of let go of our getting started guide, which is really one of the most valuable pieces when someone is brand new, to get to know them. Because remember, the definition of coach is to convey a valued person from where they are to where they want to be. Not where we want to be, where we think they can be, where they should be, where we want them to be. And so taking the time when someone is brand new, if you go to Nitty Gritty 101, and we'll talk about this tonight, and have people listen to the orientation and then do a personal planning session, you're really developing your relationship with them and letting them know how important they are to you and what they want. So tonight we're going to be going through the Getting Started guide and talking about that. And I also wanted to mention that a special email went out last week on Coach Clarissa's sales boot camp. It starts on the 21st, and we need a minimum of 50 people. I'm sure we're going to get more than that. Gregory and I are both enrolled. I encourage everyone and your teams. She normally charges $497, and I believe it's only $49 because of the Live Younger community, and would love everyone who's ready to take their business and their life to the next level to participate. And all the information was in the email that was sent last week. If you didn't get it or need more information, reach out to me and I'll make sure you get that. So remember, how we end the year is how we start the year. So whoever wants to end strong can start strong, and would love to share this with you. So that's a little bit about tonight. Oh, the conference, Gregory mentioned that. Anyone who's live gets a free sleeve of that new thing. And he leaked a little more information than he was supposed to, just so you know. But there's many, many benefits of this new product that are so exciting. It's going to be an interesting thing to market because it does so many great things, and I think you're going to love it. So I think that's all I had for today. Thank you, Karen, for such a great job. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your stories. And for those of you that are new, a special warm welcome to our Live Younger community.
Yes, very warm welcome. I'm sorry I forgot to say that at the beginning.
Honey,
happy
you
to have
do
you
such
all
a
here.
welcoming job. You just are welcoming. Yes. Okay.
That's all, folks.
Yeah, I think it's time to complete our call.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Y'all come back next
you.
week.
Y'all come back now.
If you all want to unmute and say goodbye and thank you, that's a great thing.
Thank you, Karen.
Bye, everybody.
Good job,
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye,
everyone. It's great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Have a great week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.